What's up, fellow drivers? This is the one where we finally do the thing. I'm comparing my MR2 after I did the upgrades. So before I had the S54, and now I have the E153, along with a host of other upgrades. I know it's been a long time, I've been waiting a long time, so let's see how it is now. So before we get into too many of the upgrades and before I'm up the mountain, I want to first compare what RPM I'm at compared to previously. So I did a test at 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, and 80 miles an hour. And remember, this is with the S54. So now that I have the E153, I should be seeing lower RPMs at these cruising highway speeds. Okay, so here we are at 60 miles an hour, and it looks like we're right around 27, maybe 2800 RPM. At 70 miles an hour, it looks like we're right around 3200 RPM. Okay, so now we're cruising at 80 miles an hour. It looks like we're at 36, like right about 3600 RPM at 80 miles an hour. And I'm caught up to traffic. I think that happened last time too. But we got to see those different speeds and what RPM I'm at. I have to say, it just feels better. Like driving down the freeway just on a kind of livable daily driver situation like that, it feels so much better. Before, when I was trying to go fast on the freeway and I'd be in 5th gear, I felt like I always needed to shift up into 6th, and of course I couldn't. So even before we get up on the mountain, definitely an improvement. Okay, so I'm not quite to the mountain yet, and I'm sitting here in traffic as we do in California on a Saturday afternoon. But anyway, let's talk about exactly what those upgrades are that I got. So the E153 transmission, and also, actually I see why we're stopped here, because there's a car parked in the middle of the road. All right, well, we're around that stopped car. Sometimes I feel like I spend so much time in traffic, I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? But anyway, so as I was saying, transmission, and it has a Cusco LSD. I also got a Clutchmasters FX350 clutch, and a Fidanza lightweight flywheel, a Burke downpipe, and the Blitz boost controller. Okay, so I'm finally at the foot of the mountain, and the first thing I'm going to take a look at is clutch engagement. As I'm just pulling ahead, how grabby does it feel? Okay, so a little bit more grabby than stock. It's definitely not an OEM clutch, but not too bad. You know, just a little bit more aggressive. I have to give it a little bit more gas a little sooner, I would say. So now I'm going to be looking at things as I'm going up the hill here for just general feel and like clutch engagement, rev matching, what gear I'm choosing in what corner. Now, the E153 and the S54 are very similar gearing in the low gears. So I think first is actually exactly the same, second is very similar, third is very similar, and it doesn't really start to be much different until like 4th or 5th. So honestly, I don't expect to feel a whole lot of difference as far as what gear I'm selecting here, but we'll see how it kind of all comes together as a package. So, you know, with the LSD, with the little bit of extra power, with the lighter weight flywheel, all of that. And I'm in much too high of a gear right now. I definitely need to shift down for these. I'm putting around down here at 2500 RPM. All right, so that rev match was super easy. 4500, need to brake, here at a U-turn. Down, oh, okay. So that, I was trying to downshift into 2nd there, and I kind of missed it. Like, it didn't go into gear right away. This feels a little bit stiffer than the S54, maybe slightly notchier is a better way to put it. So we'll try that again. Okay, definitely better. I was kind of more ready for it. Shifting back up into 3rd. Another U-turn here, try it again. There we go. That was a really much smoother, easy downshift. I just kind of have to get used to the slightly different feeling of it. I'm in third through these turns here, and I was around 3,000 RPM there. When I downshift into second, I'm up to 45, sometimes 5,000. Oh, man, that turbo sounds so good, right? I hope that's coming through on camera. So still, I feel like third and second are the gears. Like, going into first, I think would just be way too crazy. I'd have to shift up almost immediately. So I don't think there's any reason to be in a lower gear than I was previously. There we go, another smooth downshift. I could actually feel the LSD kind of engaging there as I was accelerating out. It is a used LSD, so I wasn't quite sure. You know, I was hoping, obviously, that I'd get good results with it, but you never know, it could have been worn out. But I have to say, I'm really happy with the way it feels right now. And I did a test in the rain launching it. That definitely proved that LSD is working. If you didn't see it on Instagram, here's a quick clip. Yeah, so with that launch in the rain, I was spinning both wheels all the way through first gear and like halfway through second gear. So definitely the LSD was doing its job. I can definitely feel that it boosts easier. So it's really rev happy. Not that it felt like it, you know, had a hard time before. You know, keeping the short piping with the small turbo gave it really good response, but I can feel like it's even more quick to rev up now. And the Flywheel, as I mentioned in the last video when I was just kind of showing you guys the whole process through the upgrades, really does make a difference. Like, I wasn't sure if it would. You know, it's one of those things where theoretically it should, but you don't know how much you're actually going to be able to feel it. But I really do notice a difference. I do feel like the engine revs easier, it boosts a little sooner, and especially now I have the downpipe as well, so of course it's getting less restriction, and then I've turned up the boost. So currently I'm on the low boost setting at 14 PSI. The car feels really good. And it's such a beautiful afternoon out here. Sun's going down. All right, I'm in too high of a gear though. I'm in fourth. It definitely felt like I needed to be down. Yeah, third is much better here. But ooh, did you feel the tail come out there? That's a LSD. And I've caught a WRX and a Civic, it looks like. And they're kind of out here for a easy cruise, it appears. You know, I thought that maybe with the new clutch and the new Flywheel, downshifting and just general driving would feel awkward at first. And it did a little bit. Like when I very first started driving, you know, it took a little bit of getting used to, but really quickly, after like the first, you know, 10-15 minutes or so of driving, I got super used to it. And now when I'm doing this test up here in the mountains, it feels like second nature. Like, I don't know, really smooth transition from the old setup to this one. Everything just feels that much better. Everything's a little bit quicker, a little bit more snappy, I guess. You know, like the clutch grabs on just that little bit quicker. It revs just that little bit faster. I can feel the extra power. Got a little pop there. All right, these guys are turning off. so I can keep going. Thank you, sirs. Yeah, third gear is really where it's at for the vast majority of this road. Sometimes down into second for those tight hairpins. Like this turn right here, I probably could have taken in second, but I'm really not seeing a difference in the gear that I want to pick compared to before. But I am really noticing the LSD and the flywheel. Another quick note, I was afraid, well, not really afraid, maybe that's the wrong word to use, but I didn't want the car to be so much louder than it was before, and I thought maybe with the downpipe it would get that way, but really it's not much louder than it was. Like, it is a little bit louder, and especially when I really put my foot in it, but otherwise it's really not that crazy loud. And I think, you know, it's a turbocharged engine, and I still have a muffler, of course, so it's just not going to be that insane as far as loudness. All right, so here we come up to this high speed section. I will downshift into second here, and then when I get around this turn, we'll do a pull and see how it feels. All right, power comes on pretty hard. Ooh. All right, I have to brake. Yeah, it definitely pulls harder than it did before. And that fast shift gives you like more of a jolt. Like, I really feel it between the extra power and the quicker engagement of the clutch. It's definitely more visceral than it was before. Tail came out a little bit there. You know, the LSD, it's surprising to me because I'm just not quite used to the feeling, but it's not scary surprising. Like, when it engages, it feels good. Like, it's a very smooth transition, and I feel like I'm in good control. Alright, so let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about my setup or anything that I didn't address in the video, or if you want any advice about your setup on things that you're trying to make a decision on. Thanks as always for watching. I really appreciate all of you. If you ever see me out there at an event, hit me up. I'd love to meet you. I love talking to you guys. It's at the end of the year here. I'm finally going to get out my documentary that I've kind of talked about here and there on Instagram mostly. So if you're not following me there, follow me there. It's the same as the channel. But it's this really exciting project that I got to speak to some really cool people, and it's on long-term ownership. It's been a long time in the making, so look out for that coming probably in January. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Oh my God, Jesus, take the wheel. I don't think Jesus has ever driven before, but I'm pretty sure he's still better than this person.